watching the American Conference on ESPN. From Dallas, Texas, it's ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. And we've got two programs who've enjoyed a comeback. The 6-5 Tulane Green Wave coming into Dallas to face one of the great stories of the college football season. The 9-2 Mustangs of SMU, who are celebrating Senior Day today. 24 SMU seniors who have made the Mustangs relevant again. And they are going to get their just due. There's James Buechele. What a career he has had. One of the many seniors who changed the culture here in Dallas. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Big D alongside my buddy Ryan Leaf. I'm Clay Matvick. Great to have you along here today. No New Year's Six for the Mustangs, but it has been a remarkable year. You used to think about the death penalty when you thought about SMU football. Not this year. Chance to get their 10th win here today. Yeah, pretty special. Resurrection is more likely. This football team has been in a place for years where they've had bits and starts, right? Yeah. June Jones, but not with Sonny Dykes. He's brought something special. The identity has changed. He got here. They were 1-11, won only 2 games and lost 10 that first year. If they can reverse that and be 10-2 with this senior class, that's awfully special. Yeah, 32 years since the last 10-win season at SMU. That's a long time. And for Tulane, it's been a long time, too, since they've had back-to-back 7-win seasons, 20 years. And they'll go for that today. Willie Fritz, he's also done a great job. Yeah, it's a little Tulane 2.0, right? They went from that option to now more of a spread passing offense, and they've been dynamic. Back-to-back years they can get to a bowl game. Pretty special, having only had 6 in the last 32. So Willie Fritz has got it going down in New Orleans. All right, let's see who's slinging it. Presented by Sling TV. We get to watch a couple of great transfer quarterbacks today. Justin McMullen and Shane Buechele. Yes, Shane Buechele really is the big name because everybody remembers him from Texas and what he's been able to do here at SMU. But Justin McMullen, the dual-threat quarterback, has been every bit as promised for this Tulane Green Wave football team. Excited to see them both go at it today. C.J. Sanders back to return, and he is electric. He has 5 career kickoff return touchdowns, 2 this year, and a 100-yarder last week at Navy. Won't get a chance here on the opening kickoff, as we're going to see the SMU offense first. And Shane Buechele, Texas transfer, the biggest reason for SMU's success this year. Of course, his dad, Steve, played in the big leagues for 11 years, but Shane made his mark as a high school football star, which led him to Texas. He went 10-9 as the Longhorn starter before losing his job to Sam Ehlinger. Came to SMU with a couple of years of eligibility, and the first year, he has done a bang-up job. Yeah, he's a perfect fit for this Sonny Dykes offense. He lets it fly. First pass is batted down right at the line by Cameron Sample, the tremendous athletic defensive end for Tulane. And this is a Tulane defense, Ryan, that likes to load the box. And they use a single high safety most of the time. It's going to be an interesting look for Shane Buechele. It is. They haven't gotten to the quarterback this year. Only 15 sacks, which is 109th in the country. But they got to put pressure on this quarterback and make him get rid of it faster than he wants to. Here's Xavier Jones getting his first carry, and he's going to go on the right side for a few. It's been a big year for X. The physical senior, over 1,100 yards rushing this year, 21 total touchdowns. And again, this senior class, there is heartfelt thanks felt throughout this university's culture for these seniors. Yeah, they've restored, like you talked about, they've restored the SMU football product, put it back on the national stage. There's Buechele cocking his arm, firing, and there's James Buechele with the catch. And that is a record-setting catch for Buechele. That makes him #1 all-time at SMU. He was already #1 in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. That gives him 286 catches at SMU, and they're into plus territory for the first time. He goes past Emmanuel Sanders. That's pretty good, I'd say. Who would have thought that the 2 Texas teams like SMU and Baylor were going to be the ones that shine this year instead of the Longhorns. C.J. Sanders, big play. He's collared at the 31. Made the catch along the sideline. And it's an explosive play for Sanders, the senior Notre Dame transfer. Dangerous return man, but he's a pretty good receiver too.
Well, this is almost like a return, right? Buechele just gets the ball out to him on the perimeter, lets him follow his blockers down the lane, and pick up a big first down.
It's a gain of 22. On first down, Buechele wants to throw, looking toward the end zone, and it is caught, and it's a touchdown.
Buechele pass complete for 30 yards to number 22, Mullins.
Playing his final home game as his first touchdown catch of the year.
Just a double move here, and there he goes over the top. They're going to take a look at this and see where that knee comes down, but it's a heck of a catch on his outside shoulder, especially with the sun right in his eyes. Watch where that knee comes down. His foot looks like it may have drugged just a little before it, which I think is going to stand.
31st touchdown pass this year for Buechele. As Kevin Robledo comes on for the extra point, and the senior caps the scoring. A 1 minute and 38-second scoring drive. Buechele to Galliard from 30 yards out. Clay Matvick and Ryan Leaf back here in University Park. Enclave, Dallas, and home of the SMU Mustangs, where it's senior day. And Myron Galliard with the touchdown catch, his first of the year. One of the 24 seniors that we talked about, Ryan, have helped restore SMU football. Some of the seniors that are being celebrated today committed after the 1 and 11 season. So they have really shown dedication to the program and have helped get things back on track for the Mustangs as Hutterson brings it to the 30-yard line for Tulane.
You know,
Justin McMullen and the Tulane offense will go to work. He's looking to throw the southpaw, flushed out of the pocket. He'll just flip it out of bounds. Intended for the tight end, Will Wallace. Justin McMullen, Tulane's leading rusher. And SMU struggled with Navy's triple option quarterback Malcolm Perry last week. I mean, this is a guy who presents another big-time challenge, especially with his feet.
Yeah, he does. And I've been a little surprised they haven't gone to the zone read more often, in particular with all the running backs they have. We'll see if they start playing into that a little bit more.
I'm going to stay with the rookie, Tajay Spears. And Spears will get a couple.
Well, there you go, right there. Just after I mentioned it, they run the exact play they need to start running more of, and that's the zone read, put pressure on the defensive end. He's going to take the quarterback more often and try to huddle everything together in the middle of the field and gang tackle. And that's one thing that defensive coordinator Kevin Kane talked about. Got to get McMullen to the ground, and you got to be able to tackle well in space when you're playing against this guy.
They bring some pressure. McMullen able to get rid of it, a little underthrown and nearly picked off. Rodney Clemens, the strong safety, in on the coverage. He is having a great senior year. That was nearly his 5th interception of the campaign.
This is kind of just a hope and pray throw. He just throws it up, thinking he might be able to get over the outstretched shoulders and arms of Rodney Clemens, but Clemens does a great job, and then Darnell Mooney becomes the defensive back to knock the ball away. So it's not a turnover, but rather a turnover by punting.
Ryan Wright was a very live leg. Lets it boot. And from the 20-yard line, it's James Prochet. With a decent return, close to the 35-yard line. That's where the Mustangs will have it. When we come back, 6:50 to go here in the opening quarter. You're 5-2 in the American. Since the death penalty, no weeks ranked in the top 25 until this season. Just 5 winning seasons, 8 seasons with 1 win or fewer, including a winless season, I should say. And this has been their best year post-death penalty. Sonny Dykes and his staff has just done a terrific job. And they got it back, leading by a touchdown. Look out, Xavier Jones breaks into the secondary and deep into Tulane territory. He's finally brought down at the 25 of the Green Wave. A run of 38 yards.
Xavier Jones just gets past that first level and breaks a tackle and makes another guy miss, and away he goes.
And away goes SMU with this tempo, and again it's Jones, and he'll get a handful.
And it's all about first and second down, Clay, right? So when you get that first down, it's tempo, tempo, tempo. When you get into situational football like third down, they make it take more time and be ready, but they're going to go fast here again.
3 receivers to the near side, including Buechele. Again, they don't have one of their best receivers. Reggie Robertson's still out with a foot injury. He's been out for a month. This offense doing just fine with Xavier Jones right now leading the rushing game. And occasionally this team has struggled establishing the run. I mean, Memphis took it away, so did Navy, but so far so good here today. And they'll stick with it with Jones, but this time he's stacked up at the 10.
Yeah, they want to run the football too. You know, they're not where they want to be up front, but as he told us, the key to them is running the football when the defense knows they're going to run it. And that's all about effort and toughness and leverage by those offensive linemen. Here you got third down, or second down, sorry.
Kamen Freeman checks into the game. He's the backup to Xavier Jones. And Brett Lashley said he wanted to get him more touches today. Buechele throwing on the run, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Larry Brooks, the number 2 strong safety. And when we talked to Willie Fritz this week, he said we've got to create some turnovers, and they do here.
And you got him open here. Right when he comes out of his break, the ball's got to be thrown steady. Throws it behind him, and Larry Brooks does a tremendous job of getting his hands on it, not only getting in front of it, but catching the football. I don't know how much I can tell you how difficult it is for these safeties and cornerbacks. They'd be playing wide receiver if they could catch the ball better, and he looked like one right there. A homecoming for him of sorts, back to Fort Worth.
Turnover beads are out for Tulane, and that is the 9th interception thrown for Shane Buechele this year. Not a big number, especially when you consider how many touchdown passes he has. He has 31 after that one to Galliard here earlier in the quarter.
But in particular in the red zone too, right? You cannot turn the football over in the red zone here.
Cam Carroll, his first carry of the day, and he's brought down by Rodney Clements. You know, the red zone has been so good to SMU. In fact, they lead the nation with 63 trips into the red zone. But Brett Lashley was telling us we just haven't gotten as many touchdowns as we would like. Even though they have a big number of those too. McCleskey makes that catch. It's going to bring up third down. But, you know, 63 trips into the red zone, only 39 red zone touchdowns. Lashley wasn't real happy with that.
Well, no, in this type of offense where you spread the field so much, Clay, when the field gets smaller down there, it makes it more problematic to do what they do best, and they've had to settle for a lot of field goals this year.
Tulane 0 for 2 on third down today. Pumping, McMullen in trouble, being chased. Ball pops out again. It's scooped up. Delano Robinson.
Tulane looks like it got it back.
Now we'll see who's got it. It's going to belong to SMU. Delano Robinson scooping up the fumble by Justin McMullen. That's the second time Tulane has put it on the turf. This time it bites him.
Yeah, McMullen here just trying to make a lot, carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. They pick him up, and then they almost get the football back here. But luckily for them, it falls back into the hands of SMU, and they're in business again inside the 10-yard line. A little 3-on-3 crime right there.
Delonte Scott, the excellent defensive end. There he is, number 35. He's the one that forced the fumble, and he is part of club takeaway right now where they pop the champagne. That is their 19th takeaway this season. That's big for SMU because in both of their losses this year, Ryan, they haven't had any takeaways.
Yeah, and they've talked about it this week. The last couple weeks, they haven't been as good as taking the football away and getting off the field.
So a redo here for SMU in the red zone. Buechele can't make that catch. Incomplete.
The incorporation of the run-pass option into the spread or the air raid with Sonny Dykes has been a huge factor, and it makes defenses really have to prepare differently. There was a perfect example. Running play, he pulls it and decides to throw a quick inside arrow slant route. And it was good coverage, otherwise it would have been a walk-in touchdown.
Last season, 5-7. Trying to get to 10 wins. Wide open, and the catch made by Granson, the tight end. Kylan Granson, the transfer from Rice. And it's a 2-score lead now for the Mustangs.
This is prototypical air raid offense, what you like to call a little 68 corner route to Granson, who makes a one-handed catch for his 9th touchdown of the year. Great focus, and he brings the ball in.
He plays tight end like a wide receiver. Just great hands. And so the Mustangs make Tulane pay. Just 12 seconds after the turnover, the Mustangs punch it in. Kylan Granson with a great catch on senior day, and it's a 14-0 lead for SMU. Granson with the touchdown for SMU to make it a 2-score lead now for the Mustangs. It was an interesting sequence after that Justin McMullen fumble. It was Delonte Scott, the defensive end, who popped it out. It was scooped up by Robinson, the outside linebacker. And then he nearly gave it right back as Darnell Mooney almost got it back for the green wave, and Granson with the touchdown catch.
Yeah, they did a tremendous job of what you just talked about, and that's getting touchdowns when they are in the red zone, not settling for field goals, and certainly not turning it over. He goes to his go-to guy in Granson, who's got a ton of touchdown catches this year in this offense.
2 touchdown passes for Buechele in this game. Look out, Hutterson. He had a 98-yard kickoff return touchdown last week at Navy, and it's a good return this time. McMullen has had 5 different offensive coordinators during his career at LSU and Tulane. There's no doubt that he has found a connection with Will Hall as he hands off here to Corey Dauphine. And Dauphine is just a terrific runner, very explosive. And the senior gets it to the midfield line. They'll actually spot it at the 49. It's a 9-yard pickup. Here's Amari Jones, just a talented runner. They're going to try and get him in space as much as they can. And they don't care how they do it, whether it's running or passing, the jet sweep sometimes. He gets 11, and that's a first down for Tulane. The pass, McMullen on target, and a nice catch by Jones. Back-to-back first downs for the sophomore from Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, you're able to go here, just play the action fake here, goes over the top, and he puts a wonderful ball and allows Mari Jones to go up with his hands and get it.
Now back to the ground to Dauphine. And he's going to get a few, so it's 2nd down and 7.
Both of these offenses run a tempo, right? They get going, especially after first downs. If they can start running after that, but when you substitute, like they did offensively here, you got to allow for SMU the time to substitute as well.
Cam Carroll comes into the backfield to the right of McMullen. He's built a little bit like Darius Bradwell, the senior running back, but maybe a little faster. And that will be a couple of yards on that play as Turner Cox makes the stop. And now here we go, 3rd down again.
Really, Richard McBride there kind of disrupted that enough to make the big tackle and allow Turner Cox to get in there and finish it off. This is one of those 3rd downs that we talked about. They need to convert here, keep this drive alive, and get some points if they want to stay in this football game.
3rd down and 6. And for the first time, they will convert on 3rd down. Cam Carroll shows a little bit of that speed. The Flowood, Mississippi native, 1st down inside the 15 for Tulane.
Yeah, just a lead here right across the front of him, and Cameron Carroll just gets on the perimeter, and then it's just a matter of getting in front of somebody.
Now McMullen to the outside, and it's complete. A nice catch there by Darnell Mooney, the dynamic veteran. And offensive coordinator Will Hall told us he has not gotten it to Mooney or McCleskey nearly enough this year.
Yeah, he said that was his biggest flaw this season so far, is that he hasn't gotten it into his playmakers' hands like he should have. And on this drive, I feel like everybody's starting to touch it more. Amari Jones, McCleskey, Darnell Mooney there, sets up 1st and goal.
Tight formation with Carroll in the backfield. Also Tajay Spears and Hutterson on the field for this play. And it is Spears. And he'll bounce his way close to the 3-yard line.
Sometimes it just confuses me a little bit on why an offense, after just throwing, plain and simple run game downhill on you, they go to something a little more complicated when you get inside the red zone. Asks for a lot of problems.
Carroll plows his way in for a Tulane touchdown on the 8th play of the series. Tulane gets it in, capping a 57-yard scoring drive, and that's the answer Willie Fritz needed.
What they set it up with was that return on the kickoff. Just set at 57 yards, and then downhill. Cameron Carroll here, just straight downhill dive. Uses his power and strength to get in the end zone for points that the Green Wave desperately needed.
Merritt Glover, junior kicker, Mr. Reliable, comes on for the extra point. And now we've got a football game as Tulane cuts SMU's lead in half. C.J. Sanders is back deep to return here for the Mustangs. We got to keep an eye on him. He's got 5 career kickoff return touchdowns, including a 100-yard return last week at Navy. With 1 second left on the clock, we're going to have a kickoff, and I don't know, this first quarter, what do you think? Does it feel like maybe SMU's missed an opportunity or two to really pile on here early?
Yeah, I mean, they turned it over in the red zone, but don't get me wrong. Don't forget Tulane, turned it over on downs on 4th down in SMU's territory early too. So they've had some misses as well. What they did do is answer on that last drive to make this a football game.
And SMU's back on track. And here's Shane trying to run it back after finding no room on the right side, and he's brought down at the 25. And it'll be a loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down for SMU in their own territory, leading by a touchdown when we come back to Dallas. Shane Buechele will run after seeing the pocket collapse, and they're going to mark him down at the 27-yard line. You've got Burrow, who transferred from Ohio State to LSU. We've got Shane Buechele in this game, a Texas transfer who has found a new home here at SMU, and it's worked out very well.
Oh, it's worked out really well. I mean, just look at what the Texas schools have looked like in the FBS. Not just the Power 5, right? Texas Longhorns, everybody thought was going to be back. Instead, Shane Buechele, Charlie Brewer over in Baylor. Those are the Texas schools that are making some noise this year. And Shane Buechele and the SMU Mustangs looking for 10 wins. Pretty special.
3rd down and 8. Opening series of the second quarter, and it's Prochet. Incomplete. Couldn't get his arms underneath that one, a little low from Buechele. And SMU's going to have to punt for the 2nd time.
Yeah, wonderful route. He just didn't quite put the ball in a place where Prochet could catch it. Well, he went to the ground a little low, and those are the types of things. Tulane, really looking good defensively, getting a stop, an interception in the red zone, get the football back for their offense here.
This is Jamie Sackville, who also punts for SMU, getting an opportunity, and I don't know if that one was much better. It was also shanked Saturday after Thanksgiving, looking relaxed. Jalen McCleskey immediately tackled by Clemens. And it's going to be a loss of 3.
Just a great read here by Rodney Clemens, and he steps right through. If you don't have anybody there to block him, the offensive line a little late getting out there on the jailbreak screen, and they set him back even further, setting up a long second down. Could you call this second and forever?
They need to get to the 47-yard line for a first down. We'll see what Kevin Kane dials up here. He's only going to rush 3. Now some late pressure, and McMullen got it away for Mooney. And he made the catch for a first down. How about that throw by Justin McMullen? A gain of 25, and they'll keep the series alive.
Yeah, when he lets this ball go, I don't think for a moment it's going to be successful, but he put enough air underneath it to let Darnell Mooney run right underneath and drag that foot. What a big conversion there, once again, by McMullen and Mooney. Keep this offense moving forward, and that SMU defense on the football field.
First down from the 49. Carroll finds some room on the right side. And that's going to be a run of 11. Another first down for Tulane as this offense is starting to find some traction.
Oh,
Brandon
boy.
Stevens on that tackle.
Yeah, boy, are they. I mean, it's what they did so well last drive has just been an extension here, and that's just downhill running, using that big pathway by those offensive linemen. They're just running the football straight down their throat right now.
Carroll's been the workhorse. And another positive run on first down for Cam Carroll, the redshirt freshman, as Rodney Clemens secures another tackle. That's a gain of 3 with 8.5 to go here in the first half. 14-7 SMU trying to get win number 10 on the year. Tulane trying to get to 7 wins. Corey Dauphine comes in, and he's going to get a couple. Dauphine, former Texas Tech Red Raider. Tulane has done a pretty good job with the transfers too.
Yeah, both these teams have. I think the group of 5 schools have been really successful.
Third down and 5. McMullen, he's going to run, and he knows exactly where to go, and he slides down at the 19-yard line. They'll move the chains again.
Yeah, I was waiting for this to happen, right? He hasn't pulled one on that zone read here, just been handing it off straight downhill, and just a wonderful job. Defensive end doesn't even know he has the football, and is able to pick up again another third down conversion here for the Green Wave on this drive.
McMullen, just a talented runner. He's got 12 rushing touchdowns. Only a handful of quarterbacks in the FBS can say that. On first down, puts it in the breadbasket of Dauphine, and this time SMU was ready for it. 97, Turner Cox leading that charge. A sophomore from Highland Park High School.
Yeah, he just absolutely takes a beeline for the running back here. Doesn't even check whether the quarterback kept it or not. He's able to get a huge tackle for loss, setting the Green Wave back 3 yards.
Will Hall is going to shuttle Stephon Hutterson back into the backfield. He's number 5. And now he'll motion out. McMullen to pass. Chased by Delonte Scott. And finally sacked by Scott. Scott got avoided once, but didn't give up on the play.
No, he definitely does. He beats the right tackle, and then when McMullen loops out there, he doesn't ever give up, and he's the one that ultimately makes the big sack. And now you're talking about moving them outside of field goal range after this really impressive drive that Tulane has been able to put themselves in.
Second sack today for SMU. Tulane is 2 for 2 on this drive on third down. We'll see if they can convert again. 3rd and 20. They need the 10-yard line for a first down. They're going to go short and just try to pick up some yardage for a field goal attempt, and they do it with their sure-handed tight end, Tyreek James. And this should be a very makeable field goal attempt for Merrick Glover. Glover, the junior, will run out onto the field here. And this will be a 27-yard kick.
You know, that timeout came in handy. He really talked to Justin McMullen and said, hey, let's just get us a positive play here, put us in a position to get some points and not come away empty-handed after 2 great drives, and that's what they're getting an opportunity to do.
Actually a 32-yarder. Glover 8 of 11, long of 44, but it's blocked. And Tulane leaves points on the field. Delonte Scott with a blocked field goal now to add to a day where he's already had a fumble recovery. Delonte Scott, a sack on that series and a blocked field goal. It's 14-7 SMU. Back on the beautiful SMU campus, Gerald Ford Stadium, alongside Ryan Leaf, I'm Clay Matvick. And Delonte Scott is having himself a game. He has stripped a ball that led to a fumble recovery for SMU, and he has now blocked a field goal.
Yeah, he's been pretty potent today for this SMU defense.
And so seniors are supposed to play on senior day, as Freeman gets the run here for the Mustangs as they take over with 5:09 to go here in the half.
Something that we're going to take a look at halftime. Three ventures into SMU territory for Tulane's offense. Only one score out of it. A turnover on downs, a blocked field goal. They're going to be looking at that, why they're still behind in this football game.
There's a catch for Buechele, and the forward progress give it to SMU at the 34-yard line, about a yard and a half short of the first down marker. Third down here for the Mustangs. Freeman bottled up, not going to have it. And again, Freeman's been limited the last couple of weeks because of a shoulder injury. They're happy to have him back out there. And he can't pick up the first down. It's fourth down, and the punter Sackville will come back out.
Wonderful job again. Tyrese Barge there comes off the edge, forces everything back inside, and not enough to get the first down. And Tulane's going to get the football back and get another shot.
Jacob Robertson standing at the 27-yard line of Tulane. Third punt for the Mustangs, second for Sackville. This is a line drive kick. Finally a good punt for the Mustangs, and it's muffed. Ball's loose, and the Ponies have it. Recovered by Cole Voiles. The long snapper gets down on coverage and takes it back for SMU at the 14-yard line.
You got to catch the football. You had already called for a fair catch. Kind of fading to his left here a little bit. And I don't know if he takes his eyes off it just enough. But a football bounces like no other ball there is. SMU gets it right back.
I think the 51-yard punt took Robertson by surprise. The punting had been atrocious for SMU up to this point.
Well, you said the line drive part of it, right? He threw up the fair catch pretty early in that.
Didn't know how to handle it. So the muff punt. And look at Xavier Jones just churning those legs inside the 10. And now we get a penalty marker coming in late. Sonny Dykes wants an explanation. Soon we're going to get it from Adam Savoie.
After the play, personal foul, SMU number 3. Personal foul, Tulane number 26. Those fouls offset. Second down.
So after all of that, offsetting penalties between Keys and Prochet.
Oh, you know, the whole offsetting penalties thing for me has always kind of ruffled my feathers in terms of, you know, I mean, but what are you going to do? It's kind of a cop-out. You give them both the penalties, but nothing changes.
Second down and 5. Buechele looking to the slant, and it is caught by Rashee Rice, the true freshman who has played a really big role for this offense since the injury to Robertson. And it's going to bring up third down and short.
Good job by Jalen Monroe there, the corner for Tulane, just riding the wide receiver, and as soon as he catches the football, getting him down to the ground.
Tommy McIntyre, the big tight end, checks in, and running on that side is Xavier Jones. Didn't get to the end zone, but it's going to be first down and goal for SMU.
He's got a nose for the end zone. All those touchdowns he scored this year, they're going to go fast with some pace here.
Got it. Xavier Jones with his 20th rushing touchdown of the year. That passes Eric Dickerson for the single-season school record. How about that? You're passing
Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer. That is saying something. Robledo comes on for the extra point, and it's 21-7 with 2.5 to go here in the first half. It has been an exceptional start to senior day for SMU, and special teams has played a big factor in this one for the Mustangs. Well, the mistakes are now starting to mount for Tulane. A muff punt leads to a touchdown for SMU, making it 21-7. Effort, toughness, and smarts. Willie Fritz said this week in their losses, they have lacked one or more of those things, and we've seen one or more of those things be an issue here in this game. Hutterson, another good return. Again, he had that kickoff return touchdown last week. But this set. And now McMullen is going to be slammed down by Patrick Nelson, the linebacker, the transfer from Illinois. It's going to be a loss. And before second down, a timeout called by Tulane.
Sometimes when you have a situation like that and you rely on your feet to make a play, you know, you take a sack there essentially. You have to call a timeout. If he just flips it out of bounds, clock stops, you still have your full array of timeouts left.
This big second down and 11 play with 52 seconds to go before half. Tulane is down to one timeout remaining. SMU has a couple left. McMullen overthrew McCleskey.
McMullen's pass incomplete.
Again, another example of maybe the sunlight getting in the eyes of the wide receiver, but that one was...
I don't think he was going to catch that one anyway. That was airmailed.
He airmailed that one. That's exactly right.
So now what? Does Tulane just play it a little cautious here? And
no, I think you got to go, and I think you got to put yourself in a position where the safety kicking down right over the middle there. Yep.
And that's going to be a first down catch for Amari Jones, the sophomore out of Frisco, Texas. And Tulane again moving the chains. 37 seconds to go. Getting out of bounds quickly is Tajay Spears.
And you couldn't ask for anything more right there. 8-yard pickup, and he gets out of bounds. Now the playbook is wide open because you could gut him with a run right here if you wanted. It would be a first down. Clock's going to stop, or you could go to something down the football field. But I wouldn't be surprised if especially with the middle of the field wide open right there, just like that, to do something with the quarterback draw maybe.
McMullen over the middle, caught by James. Boy, Tyreek James is a good-looking tight end. The Waco native with a gain of 17. Tulane's got to hurry. 24 seconds left. Still have a timeout to use. Two receivers to either side and Spears in the backfield. Clock moving, 15 seconds before half. McMullen slides up, throws to the end zone, and it's intercepted. Delano Robinson. Another big play in this half. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. Robinson had it and dropped it.
Did he have it and drop it or what? I mean, I don't know what McMullen's doing here. I don't know if he ever sees him at all, but last minute he just has to pump it up there, and that's why they're playing defense, Clay. Oh.
Robinson, of course, with that fumble recovery earlier in the half, nearly had an interception of Justin McMullen.
It would have just been another one of those mistakes that we talked about. Just shooting yourself in the foot with a red zone interception here. You got points right now.
That's been one of the Achilles heels this year, too, of McMullen. Just a little bit too loose with the football, too many turnovers. Throws to the end zone again, has McCleskey, and he can't make the catch. Right through his hands. 3 seconds left.
It's like they're allergic to the football right here. McMullen, a tremendous job of putting a perfect pass to McCleskey, and he just lets it slip through his hands.
Jalen McCleskey ranked 6th all-time in catches at Oklahoma State. Wanted to play his final year closer to home, so he transferred to Tulane. Kicking himself right now. Merrick Glover comes on to attempt a 33-yarder just before half. And the Green Wave salvaged some points out of the drive, but what could have been? It's 21-10 now at the break.
What could have been on both sides, right? We talked about Delano Robinson dropping there an interception before half, and then of course McCleskey with the chance to extend that point total there at the end. Tulane has got to feel confident getting points going into the half.
A lot of mistakes for the Green Wave, trying to get their 7th win of the year as SMU goes for 10. The halftime report coming up after this timeout. Full of bowl-bound teams meeting in the final game of the regular season here in the American. Tulane and SMU. Tulane looking for 7 wins. SMU trying to get its 10th. That would be an historic accomplishment. A couple of programs on the way back. First half, Tulane made some mistakes, Ryan Leaf, and they really cost them. SMU 14 points off of the 2 turnovers for Tulane in that first half.
Yeah, they've dominated every aspect of the football game except getting scores, right? They've shot themselves in the foot with a lot of different things. Look at the difference in total yardage, the time of possession, the turnovers have killed them, more penalties, all the things that lead to it. You would assume that this SMU team would be the one that was controlling it offensively, but it's been Tulane. They just haven't scored any points with it.
And again, it goes back to mistakes. And Justin McMullen, the quarterback of this offense, a little frustrated at times in that first half. But he's going to have a chance to get right back out there with the offense as they'll start with the football. Russell Roberts has it on the tee. And this is a returnable kick from inside the 5-yard line. Tulane will get it to the 35. That was Amari Jones. And let's talk about those Tulane mistakes.
Yeah, here we're talking about Justin McMullen there with the fumble that set up a touchdown, then a blocked field goal when they were ready to get points. And then when the defense gets a huge stop, they muff a punt that ultimately turns into points for SMU. And right here before half, puts a perfect pass to McCleskey. Slides right through his hands. Would have made it 21-17. Sorry, 21-14. Instead, they're down 11. The things we talked about, the turnovers on downs, the lost fumble, the muff punt. Still the muff punt for me is the biggest one.
Cam Carroll was the leading rusher for Tulane in the first half. That's his 9th toe to the game. McMullen 12 of 19 passing for 131 in the first half. No touchdowns, no interceptions. And again, if they can get it in the end zone here on this first series, it really would change the entire complexion of this game. Tight end James came over to the left side of the formation, and Carroll runs that way. And we're going to have 3rd down and about 5.
Well, we talked about it going into halftime. If Tulane could find a way to get some points there, knowing they got the football coming out, that would have been huge. Now they got to convert here and keep a drive going. They've been very good on 3rd down so far this afternoon.
Tulane headed to its 6th bowl game in 32 years, back-to-back bowl seasons for the first time since 79 and 80. Trying to end on a high note. It's been a tough month or so. Tyreek James, that's a 1st down catch. You know, after that 5-1 start for the Green Wave, Ryan, you know, things just haven't come easy for Tulane.
Well, they haven't come easy, but they haven't been out of football games either, right? The only game they were not in was against Memphis. Otherwise, they've been in those football games. 3-point loss to Navy, you know, 12-point loss to Tulsa.
Nice keeper by Justin McMullen. Faked everybody out. Justin McMullen, the leading rusher for the Green Wave, down at the 42-yard line. Justin Guy Robinson was the last man standing, and he made the tackle. It's a gain of 27.
Justin McMullen takes a page out of SMU and Shane Buechele and keeps it on the zone read and goes for a big gainer.
There's Dauphine for a yard. And Justin McMullen ran 23 times for a career-high 102 yards last week against UCF. This guy is a weapon with his feet.
He is. He's been a dual threat for as long as you can remember, and it makes defensive coordinators shaking their boots. You just saw a big play right there.
Throw to the outside. That's a catch by Darnell Mooney. This is the 6th drive of the game into SMU territory, but so far Tulane just 10 points to show for it. They really need to get into the end zone.
They have to get in the end zone. Can't settle for just a field goal, though. If they do, they would be within one score. So any points right now is going to be okay, but they need to complement this defense, and there you go.
Corey Dauphine breaking loose. Touchdown, Tulane.
You asked for it, Clay, and there you go.
35-yard touchdown run for the former track star here in the state of Texas. Boy, he has got some breakaway speed.
Well, yeah, and they just continue to run downhill. And look at that hole, and he finds a little green and goes. And no one's going to catch him with the middle of the field vacated. Dauphine, the transfer from Texas Tech, with a big response.
Merrick Glover makes it 21-17. 7th rushing touchdown of the year for Corey Dauphine, a 200-meter state champ here in Texas back in 2014. We've got a ball game here in Dallas. Claymatic Ryan Leaf back here at Ford Stadium in Dallas, where Tulane has scored the last 10 points to make this interesting. It's 21-17. Here's C.J. Sanders on the return for SMU. He can make an impact too, and he gets stopped short of the 25-yard line. And that was the 5th carry of 30 yards or more this season for Dauphine, that touchdown run. Let's see what Shane Buechele and SMU can do as a response. Buechele gives it to Freeman, and he might get a yard.
Now, what can SMU do to respond? Because they really haven't been able to do much. Tulane has put them in position to score points in the first half. Defensively, the Green Wave has been really, really good. If they can get another stop and the offense continues to move forward and do the right things, that momentum is going to switch in a hurry.
Little blitz coming. Buechele gets away. Throws on the run downfield, nobody home. So Tulane dials up the pressure there. They were able to sack him on the last series. Knocked him down on this one. It was Marvin Moody getting in the backfield.
Again, relentless by Marvin Moody here. Just kind of spying and following him and gets him to the ground, makes him throw a ball out of bounds and sets up a significant 3rd down here for SMU, because they haven't done much offensively other than that touchdown pass in the first half to Gillard.
Just 221 yards total for the SMU offense and 21 points so far. This is a team that racks up 44 per game. 7th best in the country, and Buechele is sacked again. Flag comes in late, but Graham celebrating the sack, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida. And this Tulane defense is starting to rattle Buechele's cage. Robertson. Pretty good return to the 46-yard line, and Tulane has great field position as they get ready to start this drive. Down by 4. Well, let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to us by PlayStation. Ohio State had very little trouble in Ann Arbor today. Clemson rolling over South Carolina. Georgia in the state championship game of the state of Georgia. No issues with Georgia Tech, and of course LSU and Texas A&M coming up later tonight. It looks like that top 4 has the potential to stay put.
I suspect it would stay put through the rest of the year until, of course, the SEC championship. And then Georgia has got to do what a lot of people think they can't do, and that's beat LSU. If they do, that throws things into chaos, because Georgia wins LSU and Georgia most likely both get in, and you're talking about 2 conference champions not.
Tajay Spears carries it to the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short for Tulane. An important series in this game, maybe a chance to take the lead as Spears carries 1st down.
You know, you talked about the running back by committee, and they don't disappoint at all. Each and every one of them is going to get a multitude of carries, and they're going to do the same thing, Clay. They're going to get their head and shoulders down football field and run physical and run tough. And once they keep doing that, it allows for this football team to put the pressure on an SMU defense that's starting to break.
Justin McMullen straight up the middle on 1st down. He'll get a couple. But Tulane's up over 370 yards today. Clemens made that tackle. What do you make of this SMU defense?
Well, it's a bend but don't break defense, and that's what Kevin Kane told us. The yards hurt your pride. Now, they've allowed a ton of yards today, but only 17 points, all right? The yards hurt your pride, but the points that they don't score allow you to move on to the next week.
Cut down is Spears. Patrick Nelson, great speed to catch up to the ball carrier. And the transfer from Illinois drops Spears for a loss of a couple.
When you sit in this 3-3-5, you have linebackers that almost play in safety positions. You got to explode up the football field and make tackles like that in space. Patrick Nelson does it up perfectly in that instance.
So now 3rd and 12. McMullen getting some pressure, got rid of it. Spears out of the backfield. He's got a 1st down and more. Trying to stay on his feet. Finally toppled at the 13-yard line. Trevor Denbo made the stop, but what a play again for Tajay Spears, the rookie out of Louisiana.
This is a great job on 3rd down when they bring the blitz right at the quarterback, and he's just able to find the man-to-man option, and Tajay Spears does the rest.
McMullen will keep it. That's the 23rd 1st down in this game for the Tulane offense against 9 for SMU.
You know, this is the will they impose offensively normally for SMU, right? The amount of plays they run, break down a defense. Instead, Tulane, Will Hall and Justin McMullen and these running backs, this stable of running backs, are just making this defense feel it every single play.
Boy, the SMU defense just huffing and puffing. Look gassed out there. There's Amari Jones lowering his head, and he's down close to the 7-yard line.
You continue to get a different kind of running back every single time. Guy with more explosion, a guy that puts his head down and just absolutely crushes you moving forward like Carroll. Dauphine with the speed. I mean, they have a way to break at you any different direction. It's got to make Kevin Kane really.
High snap, McMullen dropped right at the line of scrimmage. He is hit by Zach Abercrombie, the transfer from Rice, and it's 4th down. And now a field goal is nice, gets Tulane within 1. We'll see if Willie Fritz is feeling a little gutsy here. The decision can wait till the 4th quarter. But that was a win for Tulane in the 3rd for sure.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
They have scored the last 10 points in this football game. They have pulled to within 4, and a 4th down decision to start the 4th when we come back. Well, Tulane has the momentum going into the 4th quarter, that's for sure, and they've got a 4th and 4 at the 7-yard line of SMU. They went for it on 4th down on the first drive of the game and turned it over on downs. And it looks like Willie Fritz is going to roll the dice here and keep the offense out on the field.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this. Thought they'd take the points, the way they're moving the football, have a chance to then maybe take the lead with the field goal later. But they're going to take a shot here. If they're running the football the way they feel they are, just give it to the guy and have him go straight ahead.
13th play of the drive. McMullen with some pressure throws to the end zone, incomplete. And Tulane will get nothing.
I just don't understand it, Clay, right? You've been running the football so well down the stretch, and instead they go to something that is a straight drop back pass. Run an arrow route, calling away. Defense does a great job of getting his hand in there. Darnell Mooney takes a shot to the head, and again, for the second time this football game, they turn it over on downs in SMU territory. No points. Now they're still a touchdown down.
And you can just add that to the list of Tulane mistakes and missed opportunities. They have really piled up here today.
You know, Coach talked about play with great effort, right? Tough and physical. And the third thing was smart. And they said they haven't quite lived up to the smart part. And I don't know if Willie Fritz is kind of contributing to that with that decision right there.
They've controlled the time of possession. They have controlled the yardage. And in the third quarter, they dominated play, but they're behind now 4 points as SMU goes to work here in the fourth quarter. After that first down pickup, Buechele goes right back to James Proche, and he'll get it to the 20-yard line. Brought down by Chase Kirshen.
Now,
Buechele loads up on second down, taking a shot for Sanders, and it's just off his fingertips.
he had him too. Sanders had a couple steps on the defender, and Buechele just not enough air under the football to get it to a speedy wide receiver down the football field.
Buechele with a couple of touchdown passes in this game. Over 100 yards passing, but it's really been a non-factor here in the second half. Hits Granson here for the first down and more. Kylan Granson with a touchdown earlier in this game. That's a pickup of 20 out to the 41.
You go back to your bread and butter in the air raid here and just Y over with Kylan Granson, their big tight end, and again he makes a big play. These are a couple perfect examples of what Sonny Dykes has been running for years and years and years in crucial moments here tonight.
Xavier Jones cut off. Tried to cut it back up the middle. Not a lot of room, and he'll get one. Kylan Granson is an interesting specimen in tight end. He's 6'3", 235 pounds. And again, he plays the position like a wide receiver.
Well, that's what the tight end looks like in these systems. If you go back and look at the past tight ends for Mike Leach's Texas Tech teams, very similar in stature and size.
Looking left, coming back right is Buechele. And that's a completion to the 45-yard line for Galliard. Galliard got the scoring started in this football game back in the first quarter with a great catch in the corner of the end zone.
And that was the only score that we saw early on from Buechele there on his touchdown throw. And he also has a red zone interception. 506 yards of total offense in game this SMU team has been putting up, and you got to give Tulane and Jack Curtis a ton of credit for the game plan they had coming into this football game.
Buechele after the timeout hits Rice in free flight for a first down to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 15 and right over the ball with tempo. Here come the Mustangs. On first down, it's Jones again. Touchdown for Jones in the first half. It's been a big year for him. Over 1,100 rushing yards. 22 total touchdowns now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the points he scored, the points he has contributed to. He comes out for a quick breather. Wouldn't be surprised if you see Buechele call his own number here again.
He's going to throw it to the end zone. Proche incomplete. There's double coverage down there for Tulane, and Proche, the captain, can't come up with it. It's third down and 8.
The senior from Dallas here at DeSoto High School. He's got some old school play there, and he pushes off just a bit. Gave him a chance to go after it, but just outside the outstretched arms. Another third down.
13th play of this drive. Buechele. Plenty of time. Finds Buechele. Touchdown. There's a marker on the play.
Holding on the defense, and it's going to be for 6.
Holding. Defense number 56. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
James Buechele, he said this
26.
week, I want to be remembered as a winner at SMU. Well, consider it done. A record number of catches, record number of yards, add another touchdown to his record.
Go.
Going for 2. And it was juggled by Warren Scott, the holder, excuse me. And SMU's going to have to settle for 6.
SMU does what they do best of. Score a big touchdown, but special teams lets them down here. Keeps it a 10-point game.
Boy, that was an important drive for SMU. 13 plays, 93 yards in 4.5 minutes. The drive started at the SMU 7 after Tulane didn't convert on that 4th down. So that was a big turning point in this football game, and the lead now goes back to 10 for SMU.
It's huge, right? You don't understand the momentum that shifts when you get a huge 4th down stop like that. If Tulane kicks a field goal and gets points there, there's a different mindset.
Amari Jones for Tulane is stacked up at the 30. Cam Carroll in the backfield. McMullen's going to keep it rolling out, throws on the run, and another drop. Another drop. We've seen McCleskey drop one in the end zone. Now a drop for Darnell Mooney, and those are the 2 guys that have been their best and most reliable receivers.
Yeah, Will Hall talked about how he felt bad he didn't give him the ball more, but when he does today in big-time situations, both Mooney and McCleskey have dropped footballs.
Both of them seniors, 2 of the 16 seniors. A win today for Tulane would make that senior class the winningest class since the year 2000. Great open field tackle on Mooney by Brandon Stevens, the former running back at UCLA.
You said it, Clay. I mean, you put a guy out on an island like that, and you get the ball out to your receiver that quickly, he's got to make one guy miss, and he's gone. And Brandon Stevens does a tremendous job in that space, stopping him from getting any more yardage to set up this 3rd down.
A lot of 3rd down opportunities for Tulane today. They are 11 of 17 on 3rd down. And they're not going to convert this one as Stevens comes up again to make the stop. And it's 4th down.
Physical nature of Brandon Stevens at the cornerback position, which you normally don't see. This time he shuffles inside here at the corner position, kind of plays nickel, and goes up and does exactly the same thing and gets Mooney on the ground, and now they're going to go for it once again on 4th down.
Well, they haven't been very lucky on 4th down here today. They've turned it over twice on downs. McMullen throwing to nobody, and SMU's going to get it back with great field position. Things are starting to come unglued for the Green Wave.
McMullen in this offense. Willie Fritz. 3 unsuccessful 4th downs tonight, and now SMU rolls.
Here's Xavier Jones starting this series for SMU with a 2-yard run. Cam Sample making the tackle, as SMU now is going to be looking to burn as much clock as they can on this drive.
Yeah, you're not going to see them running with tempo after a 1st down or anything like that. They're going to allow the clock to run. And that's a little different from the blueprint that Mike Leach has put together, right? You'll see Mike Leach, no matter what the score is, no matter what time it is, they'll run the football. Sonny Dykes is going to let this play clock run down.
Buechele does throw here to Sanders, who's hit immediately as he tried to catch it by P.J. Hall, the talented safety. So that's incomplete, 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, P.J. Hall just flies up there and takes Sanders out. The fifth-year senior saw him coming from a ways and didn't hang on to that football.
SMU over 50% today on third down. And they'll pick up another one. It's Buechele with the catch at the 25-yard line. That guy is just money.
Yeah, he just is. And when you play a lot of one-high man coverage and you line up your best wide receiver against what you consider your best cover guy, he's just not good enough in that type of space to cover him for 12, 13 yards. They get another first down. And I'd like to see them milk this clock even more, okay? Last time they snapped it with about 10 seconds to go. They should be waiting until this is around 4 or 3 seconds. There's no need to run a play until you have to.
Clock discipline. Buechele caught the game-winning touchdown last year against Tulane. He's had a big day here again against the Green Wave as they go back to the ground. And Xavier Jones, he slips past everybody and to the pylon. Touchdown, SMU. A 2-touchdown day for Xavier Jones, the Big X, as the Mustangs get to pay dirt one more time.
This is exactly what SMU does. They wear people down. They've been tackling really well all game long, but not there. They miss a tackle. Xavier Jones gets to the next level and really salts this football game away. It was a much closer football game, but decision-making and missed opportunities now double them up.
Another point after by Kevin Robledo. 34-17 now. Xavier Jones with his 20th and 21st rushing touchdowns of the year in this one. A little over 7 minutes away from a 10th win. Got to go back to the 1984 season, the last time they won 10 games, and it came against number 17 Notre Dame in the Aloha Bowl from Hawaii. Bobby Collins' team winning 27-20. Yeah, that's the last 10-win season for SMU.
These are some of the best starts in SMU history, and this 2019 team started 8-0. Lost a couple games down the stretch to Memphis and Navy a week ago to get out of the American race, but they're going to have a double-digit win season. Yeah. You call into a bowl, you're talking about an 11-win season.
Possibly.
With yes.
Yeah, if they can win the bowl game, and we don't know where that's going to be. No New Year's Six this year, but you know, we're hearing about maybe the Frisco Bowl, the Gasparilla Bowl, maybe the Birmingham Bowl, one of those. Certainly winnable. Mari Jones on that return for Tulane, who's running out of time. McMullen over the middle. There's a catch by McCleskey into SMU territory. That is going to be spotted at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 34 for the grad transfer from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, going down the football field, you get the one-on-one matchup with the linebacker that you want. It's just too little, too late, Clay. The missed opportunities are going to be the things that haunt them on that ride back to New Orleans tonight.
Boy, they have really contained his running impact on this game. McMillan's numbers rushing today, not what they're used to.
But they have supplemented with the convoy of running backs, which I think has been a good compliment, because you don't put your quarterback in that much danger, right?
Booker made that catch for a first down. We go back to the air and first down quickly to Mooney. He's knocked out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of 5. Second down coming up.
You know, for the fact that they've only allowed 17 points tonight, SMU, because they've been thoroughly dominated in terms of yards, in terms of plays, possession, all of it. But that bend but don't break, part of what he talked about. He said the yards are going to hurt my pride a little bit, but if we win, I'm going to be okay.
Good young defensive coordinator, Kevin Kane. His defense has made some big plays today. There's an open field tackle on McCleskey by Stevens, but give him forward progress. First down, Tulane. Starting to move with urgency here, but Again, time is really working against the Green Wave. We're under 6 minutes to go.
Yep, you know, the not taking points, bringing it to one point, and then one possession after a score, and then the decision to go on fourth down way back in their own territory and not getting it. That's where we are right now in this football game.
McMullen through the hands of Tyreek James, incomplete.
And we haven't seen that happen much tonight. He's been kind of a magnet to the football.
Tulane has had 3 drives end on downs. They've turned it over to SMU. A couple of turnovers and a blocked field goal. It's just been one of those days. Second and 10. McMullen slides up. Incomplete. He had a man open. It was Mooney, who had a step or two on Stevens, but pass was well out of his reach, so it's third down and 10. 7 bowl tie-ins for the American. The league has exactly 7 bowl-eligible teams. Memphis, of course, they're in great shape now to go to the Cotton Bowl after winning last night over Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Memphis will meet again next week in the American Conference title game. It's the highest-ranked team from the group of 5 that goes to the New Year's 6 game. McMullen hit and wrestled down at the 25-yard line. Delonte Scott with the 5th sack of the game for SMU. Also, Demrick Gary in on the assault.
You know, when you can pin your ears back and just come after the quarterback because you're not worried about them running the football, and you're really not too worried about McMullen's legs, this is what kind of plays out. You're able to get him and press him into that place. They're going to try for 3 points here, which is interesting to say the least.
42-yarder from Glover is good. And that makes it a 2-score game again, but Tulane is down to 4 minutes and 48 seconds here in Dallas. Tulane's going to try for the onside kick. Loose football, who's got it? Looks like the Green Wave do, yes. Tulane recovering the onside kick, and they're a perfect 3 for 3 this year in doing that. But now, hold on, there's a penalty flag.
It's a wonderful kick here, and they kind of took him off guard. And
Offside.
Buechele
Kicking team,
can't
number
get
38. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
You gotta stay on side here.
That is the second onside kick in 2 weeks that Tulane has been unable to execute. Remember at the end of the game last week, when it looked like they recovered, the kicker had gotten in the way.
Who's offsides here? Stop it right there. There's nobody offsides here. What is this guy over here looking at? That's an embarrassment.
Yeah, that is not a penalty.
No.
And I think Willie Fritz is saying the exact same thing to the umpire. They're going to try again. But now SMU's ready for it. Look out. It's returned by Robinson. Actually, James Crochet, excuse me, out at the 30-yard line. Freeman on the run. Let's go back to that onside kick that Tulane recovered but was called for offside.
All right, there he is. He's kicking the ball. Here's the line all the way across right there, right? So the 35-yard line, and there's nobody that is crossing that line. This official up here is the one that threw the flag right on the Tulane sideline, too. Wow. Wow. You got to get that one right.
And now SMU just going to drain the clock as much as they can.
Yeah, all 3 timeouts for Tulane, but, you know, it's 2 possessions, and you're not going to have the possessions. That's why they onside kicked.
Freeman bounces it out. Gets loose on his way to the end zone. He's going to be stopped. Marked out at the 2-yard line. Kamen Freeman with a great run. As SMU is still playing hard, give him 22, and it's first down and goal to go Mustangs.
Yeah, the explosive nature here, and he just Great blocking on the outside, and they say he goes out at the 2, yeah, right there about the 2.5 before he tries to extend for the touchdown.
Freeman will stay in there. 3.5 to go here in Dallas. SMU minutes away from a 10th win on the season. No daylight for Freeman on that play as Williams makes another tackle from his defensive line spot.
Timeout.
And we got a timeout here called by the Green Wave with 3:18 to go. Second and goal, low throw, caught by Buechele. And he is going to be lassoed at the 9-yard line for a loss of 5. Jalen Moore making the tackle.
Timeout. Tulane.
And another Tulane timeout. They have 1 remaining. Turn the college football playoff picture on its ear. And Freeman going to be stretched to the sideline. And now it's 4th down. We got some chippiness down there, some words being exchanged. And Tulane uses its last timeout. Well, they don't get in the end zone, but Kevin Robledo is going to come on for a field goal attempt. 25 yards, and he gets it. Makes it 37-20. Meanwhile, Chad Morris out of a job, and things are going pretty well here for Sonny Dykes at SMU.
Sometimes the grass isn't always greener when you're having such success in the American Conference, in the group of 5. That could be your safe harbor of sorts.
McMullen trying desperately to get something going here late. That's incomplete, intended for Mooney as he was covered. And Demrick Gary was pressuring Justin McMullen. McMillan's been pressured a lot, and they have really contained the running aspect. I mean, he has had 14 carries today for 42 yards. That's not a typical Justin McMullen running day.
No, it's not. By not going for that field goal, right, you took the offense to a one dimension. You made them a throwing football team.
That was batted down at the line.
As before that, they were running the football so well with that multitude of running backs in the backfield. But when they don't get it, right, and SMU goes down the football field and scores, they become a one-dimensional football team. And as we've seen all day, they're not a one-dimensional football team. They are dual threat, throwing and running the football.
McMullen slides up, got away from the rush, and he'll take it out of bounds. And he's not going to have the first down yardage, a couple yards short. Armani Johnson escorted him to the sideline. So it's 4th down again for Tulane. Obviously, they'll go for it here with 2:37 to go.
I think they are 0 for today?
It hasn't been a good day on 4th down. They're 0 for 3. And here is Cam Carroll. And he didn't get it.
Well, I suppose they did what I asked and ran it downhill, right? It's just not their night on 4th down.
And SMU is celebrating.
Yeah.
They come out on the field to celebrate the defensive play. It was a great defensive effort by Kevin Kane's unit. There he is. He took the headset off. And this team is going to win 10 games for the first time since 1984.
Really impressive. Last week's game against Navy had to have been terribly disappointing, knowing that this game could have been for the American divisional title. Memphis went on to win, of course, so it still wouldn't have meant anything other than their 11th win.
Not going to get another touchdown yet before this game is over.
Get out! Get out!
There is TJ McDaniel with his first carry. You look at the American standings. It'll be Cincinnati and Memphis playing in the conference title game next week, but 7 American Conference teams bowl eligible this year.
Yeah, really impressive. It's been a solid conference. I'm going to say this, though. I think Memphis is really good. I think Cincinnati's really good. I think, though, the best group of 5 team out there is a team we're going to get to see next Saturday, Appalachian State. Their one loss to Georgia Southern I think they're the best group of 5 team. They may not be the top-ranked one when it's all said and done, but Memphis and Appalachian State would be a heck of a football game, I think.
I think Boise State would argue with you. And I think Boise State's in a pretty good position.
I'm
and
sure
they're
they
just
would.
rooting for a Cincinnati win next week.
Yeah, they sneaked by that win last night against Colorado State, a 4-7 football team, and they're going to get a rematch with Hawaii. That kind of sent their season into a spin a bit when they knocked out their quarterback right before you and I headed to Provo for their one upset loss to BYU this year. But you're exactly right. There's a top-heavy part of this group of 5. Memphis, Cincinnati, Boise, Appalachian State, SMU, Navy. All of those football teams right there belong in the conversation, and it's been a great group of 5 years so far.
Well, over a minute to go. There's McDaniel again. SMU, 10 wins for the first time since '84, just the 7th 10-win season in 105 years of SMU football. And Sonny Dykes knows there's a good chance his team could have 11 wins when this is all said and done. They won't be going to a New Year's Six Bowl, and that's a disappointment because it's the Cotton Bowl this year, and they would have loved to have been in Arlington. With that said, just a fantastic 2019 campaign.
How about this one? Sonny Dykes, before the year starts, I say you have a chance at 11 wins, regardless of what it is.
I'll take it.
I'm taking that. I'm running with that. I'm running with that, boys. Get on that Pony Express.
Buechele had a really good first half. And SMU does quite a bit in the second half to secure this win, especially defensively. And no penalties in this game for the Mustangs. And for the first time, they go undefeated at home since 1968.
There are records that are being broken here because of all the time, the death penalty, all the defeats and all of that. And this SMU Mustangs ball club has just absolutely injected life into the community again. And in Texas football, right? It's not the Longhorns. It's the Baylor Bears. It's the SMU Mustangs. That's what's controlling college football in this state right now. And it's going to help for recruiting and these fan bases.
SMU 10-2, 6-2 conference record this year. Just an impressive season for the SMU Mustangs. 37-20, the final score. For Ryan Leaf, I'm Clay Matvick. For our entire crew, we say so long from Dallas, Texas. Thanks for watching. We're going to now take you to ESPN Goal Line, an absolutely perfect way for the seniors to go out here at SMU with a 37-20 win over Tulane.